We got on YCombinator Summer Bash 2025 for our company Knowlify. I'm going to tell you about the interview process and how we prepare for it. I feel like we did a good job, and I feel like most people don't prepare enough. The core idea for preparing for an interview with YCombinator is to get as much volume in as possible of the mock interviews. So we had less than 48-hour turnaround time. Basically, the one day we did have to prepare was just straight mock interviews. I think we did around like 16 to 18 mock interviews that day. And these aren't just like you get your mom and your cousin, Terry, to go interview, right? No, you get like Series A investors or VCs or whatever to come interview you. And you also get people who are in Y Combinator, who've been through the Y Combinator process, that will come in and grill you. And they will ask you these YC style questions and pretend as if they are legitimately a partner. And what's going to happen is they're going to poke a lot of holes in you, your product, your company, and your business plan, and your answers in general. And this is super insightful because you will like re-prepare every single time. And this is crucial because this is the meat and bones of this whole process, right? If you're not doing mock interviews, you're not preparing for the actual Y Combinator interview correctly. And also too, when it comes down to a real interview, you'll be more calm and more relaxed overall. Something else too is when you're doing these mock interviews, you need to record the interviews. And what you need to do is you do the mock interview, you do an analysis with your interviewer, you get their feedback and how you'd improve. You then self-reflect and think about how you'd improve. And then you go watch the video and you watch it through with your entire team. And you go through details. Oh, we should have phrased this different. Oh, we shouldn't have trapped ourselves with saying this. Oh, that was good. We should keep that in for our interview. You painfully go through all the details in the video and you super analyze. And if you're doing this, if you're doing proper mock interviews and you're analyzing the video, you're gonna be drained at the end of the day. But there's a little bit more that you should do if you really want to feel safe and like have a higher chance at getting into Y Combinator. When you're doing these interviews and these mock interviews, you need to have an agenda in mind. Naturally, the interviewers will have their own set of agenda and questions that they want to ask. But there's a couple key things. Number one, you need to play to your strengths during these interviews. And usually you want to have like 3 core things you want to bring up. For us is vision. Vision is just another word for how your company is going to become a $1 billion company. 2, for us, it was our revenue/traction because we were doubling our revenue month over month. And the third thing was our team because we have a really strong team between like relationally with one another and then like background as well was like really relevant to what we were doing. Although they asked questions that didn't necessarily align with it. They align with it to a degree. And like we'd find ways to like throw little bits and pieces, like little nuggets that really made us stand out during the interview process and like kind of gave more insight into why we're the team to do this. You don't want to force data or statistics, or you don't want to force these points on them, right? You want to have it naturally come in. And sometimes the interviewer will even help you. They'll like lead you on slightly, like give you a chance to like talk about something more in depth. That's something you have to pick up and you'll pick up more in the mock interviews. And something else too is you want to avoid getting trapped. If there's a topic that you know is a weakness for you or you're uncomfortable talking about, half the time they will grill you on it. And they'll usually try to trap you in it and they'll like keep digging in and you don't want that because it takes away the focus of your strengths and like what you're trying to send to them. So my recommendation are 2 things. Number 1, don't get to that point. Recognize when you can be heading down the path and like try to pivot into something else without being too obvious you're trying to avoid like a trap. 2, you learn how to handle these objections and traps if you do get into them because if you handle them poorly, it reflects poorly on you. So Number 3, you want to be as relaxed as possible during these interviews, which is pretty hard because a lot's on the line, right? But there's a few things in mind. Number 1, with your product or your startup or whatever, you should kind of be in the mentality of like, hey, we're already committed to this and we're already doing this. If you're able to join us and tag along, that's great, but we're doing some great things and we're going to continue doing this, right? Number 2, if you're doing these mock interviews, it'll help you relax naturally. And number 3, if you have confidence in your answers and just your company and business overall, you'll be relatively okay. The final thing I want to mention is the actual day of your interview. So you don't want to do much during that day, I'm going to be honest. So you can do a couple interviews that day very early on. And then for 3 hours before your meetings, don't do anything. It's like go on YouTube or like watch TV or like something that's just like not mind consuming, because you want to preserve all of your energy for the interview, right? Like you're kind of like a professional athlete, as like our lead investor said. He's the one that really helped us prepare and like get us into YC. You compare it to like a professional athlete in the sense that, you know, they train and train and train, and then like for the week up to it, and then like game day and like a couple days before, like they're doing like they're going pre-light, or they're not even training at all because they're conserving their energy for the game. That's how you want to think with the Y-Combinator interview. The other thing too is like basic shit. Get good sleep the night before, sleep 8 hours, hydrate, actually like eat and like just be healthy. If you follow all those things and your company is like just genuinely doing decent in general, you have a pretty good shot with your interview and just doing fine overall. The final thing I do want to mention too is don't be boring, right? You want to, the way you don't be boring is by throwing in little nuggets here and there. Like I mentioned earlier, like, oh yeah, well actually, like for instance, one of the things was they like questioned us on like actual demand for like, oh yeah, well like, yeah, well we've actually already validated demand for this, because you know in our first month of launch, we generated over 75,000 videos. Our first client generated 75,000 videos for them, and you know a third of their users actually created videos, and you know just in the past 20 days alone, 50% of them have created 25 or more videos. Stuff like that. It's like little nuggets that make you stand out against the crowd. It's really not anything that crazy for the YC interview, you know, unless if you're already naturally like great and have a ton of experience with interviews. The advice is pretty straightforward. Just do practice interviews with people who've been through the process and know what it's like and have them grill you. Go over your interviews. Have an agenda in mind of your strengths and try to highlight them, and drop nuggets here and there, make you stand out and like really showcase your company and why you should be the ones to do this. And number 4, just calm down, because you know you're not going to die if you don't get in, and just be healthy in general. Get good sleep, eat, stay hydrated. A lot of the work for the interview is already done before the interview. How your product is doing, the revenue, traction, what you've already written down in your application, a lot of that's already done for you. And they usually have somewhat of an idea of what they're going to give you, like their verdict of you, when you get to the interview. So it's up to you to really hammer in that you're the company to do it. You're the people to do it. If you found it useful, like and subscribe.